me to speak, and we just met today for the first time. So, my name is Mario Mathis, and I am from Detroit, Michigan. And I moved here from Atlanta almost 7 years ago. And some of my friends say, hey, I know it must be, a challenge for you living here, but you have no idea. I experience racism when I put it this way. When I don't experience racism living here in Utah, it's actually remarkable. I noticed it one day and I was like, wow, I didn't experience any racism today. And I almost kind of felt relieved, but then I felt worse. And I thought, that's really, really terrible that I found that notable, remarkable. We're here tonight because George Floyd was my age. He's a year older than me. I'm 45 years old. I was born in 1975. We're the same age. This is personal to me. So, two of my brothers are retired police officers. And one of my brothers was the one who sent the post. And he's very active on social media. He sent the post and I saw it. He probably sent it out, probably as soon as it hit the news. And I saw it, and for the sake of children being here, I'll just spare you what I wrote on his post. But I ended that post saying, when are the people going to have a revolution? Because I'm really shocked that it's taken this long to get here, where we started 10 days ago. Why did so many black men and women have to die on camera to get America to believe us? I think it's absolutely shameful, So I have a couple of things I'm gonna read, just some posts that I've written, and then I'm gonna read some names of some people you may have or may not have heard of that have died by the hands of police through what some people describe as police brutality and what I like to describe as police murder. I see a sign out there that says police reform now, and that's exactly our agenda. That's exactly one of the agendas we need to have and what we need to be doing. So, okay, I'll start with one of these posts. I'm gonna read a post from a friend of mine. And I love this guy, I believe he loves me too. But I'm gonna read his post. I won't disclose who it is because this is probably being recorded and he may watch it. And and it's not my intention to publicly humiliate him or anything like that. So, and it's not that his post is terrible, but you'll get what I'm getting to once I read it. So, we haven't seen each other in a while, probably about a year and a half was the last time I seen him. He lives in Salt Lake now. And he wrote, "You're a great guy, Mario. It's funny because the last few days I've wanted to reach out to you, but I didn't know exactly what to say. Looks like a ton of people felt that way. I remember us having a discussion regarding racism in America years ago, and I just didn't get it. Probably didn't want to believe it was that bad. I feel embarrassed now looking back on it. Anyway, you're awesome. You helped me have more courage to speak out against racism and stand up for the LGBTQ community. By the way, I'm gay also. I thought I'd add that after he wrote that comment. So my partner is out there sitting in the crowd. We moved here because of his job. And I'm gonna read some other things. But that struck me, and the reason why it struck me so deeply is because I'm a victim of police brutality. And my partner was with me. So he had an accident, a bike accident, and I was somewhere else. And then we lived in Atlanta near this park. And one of the local police officers called, and I knew the police officer who was calling, but it was from my partner Raymond's phone. So when the police officer started talking, I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't Raymond I'm talking to. And he was like, no, this is Joe. His name is Joe. And he said, Raymond fell down and he actually broke his collarbone. So I raced from where I'm at and go pick up my partner. So I pick him up and I drop him off at Kaiser Permanente. It's in Cobb County, and it's where one of the recent tragedies has happened. So Cobb County, and this part of it was in Marietta, Georgia. So I drop him off at the double doors at the front of the facility. He goes in, and I had bought a new car, and it was a convertible, and it was bright red. And say I was that far away where the lady is holding the Black Lives Matter sign with the American flag on it. I tried to go to a parking space that was about right here. I never made it to the parking space. 2 police cars, one comes flying in front of me, blocks me from going any further, and another police car comes up behind me and blocks me from backing up as if I was gonna run or something and do a high-speed chase or whatever. So then they tell me to get out the car and say that they're gonna bust my window out because I had the top down but the windows were up. So he said he's gonna bust my window out. He pulls out his baton and goes like this. So I unlock the door. He yanks open the door and tries to snatch me out of the car. I'm wearing a seatbelt. Can't snatch me out of the car. He proceeds to reach over me, somebody he's already criminalized because of my black skin. He thinks I'm this dangerous criminal. Now you're reaching over me. You're a police officer, and the thoughts are running through my mind. His gun is right here, I'm sitting there. And I'm thinking, well, if you think I'm such a dangerous criminal, why would you have your gun right there? If I was somebody terrible, I could do the very worst to you right now. Anyway, he does my seatbelt, yanks me out of the car, slams my car door, and throws me up against the glass. I thought the glass would break. It didn't break. So now they put my hands behind my back. They handcuff me. I'm asking why. They won't tell me anything. So made me put my hands behind my back and handcuff me and made me lace my fingers together like this. Then they grabbed the ends of my fingers like that and tried to break them. I can't tell you how long I've been mad about that. Racism for us, for all minorities, not just black people, there are other minorities out here in this group. Racism doesn't have any reconciliation. You don't get to reconcile it. It stays with you for the rest of your life. It's not something where I'd rather fall down and break my knee and have an operation and it heals over dealing with racism. It's a lot to handle. But I think if you're a minority, if you're black, brown, indigenous, person of color, you have a tremendous amount of strength. Do not underestimate how strong you are. Don't underestimate it. And I support you, the days that are just too much and you feel overwhelmed, I'm here to support you, but don't underestimate it. You know, keep going, keep going. So, this happens for about 35, 40 minutes. All of this is happening. And this is before the iPhone came out. So we're not doing videos of black people at this time. So there's a crowd of about 30 people. It's growing, 40 people or so, it grows. And they're all just watching this unfold. Finally, my partner gets all fixed up by the doctor. He comes out and he sees it. And you know what that did for me? After it was all over, I actually felt a little bit relieved that one of my white counterparts, whether it was a friend, a boyfriend, or whatever, actually seen it. Because all this time, when I talk to my white friends, I don't feel like they believe me. I just tell them anyway. Because there's no video footage for me to show them. I do have a couple of videos now. I do record the police when they pull me over. So I do have a couple of videos now, but I haven't shared them on Facebook. I'm sure some of my friends out there, I see a couple, would like me to share them. But I probably won't, you know, because I don't think that's important. I don't think I should have to prove myself for people to believe me. So when I saw this video of George Floyd, I just reacted. And some people know me and they probably realize that my voice sounds different. Yeah, I've lost my voice. It's kind of coming back today. But I've been protesting, you know. Been at several protests and I've lost my voice. So it'll come back. And when it does, I'll use it again and I may lose it again. I'm gonna read one other thing I read and then I'm gonna read you some names. All right, I'm gonna read this real quick. This is really short. This is something my friend posted today. And they wrote, "I love you. You're probably thinking you don't even know me. But if people can hate for no reason, I can love." And I thought that was pretty remarkable because people see me all the time and I can tell that they hate me. And that's okay. I'm from Detroit. I can handle it. You know, I'm a tough boy. It's not, you know, personal in a sense that it's personal from that perspective. But it's problematic because it's because of the color of my skin. I couldn't tell you anymore how many times I've been called nigger, you know, on the keyboard, you know, especially in Utah. In Atlanta, downtown Atlanta, where they say, "Oh, it's such a melting pot. You know, don't you just love living here in the South? Such a melting pot." I tell you, it was rush hour one day, and I was coming home from work. And this car went speeding by. I was a biker. I used to ride a mountain bike all the time, but I would ride it on the roads. And this car comes by, and it's a boyfriend and a girlfriend in a car. It's a rental car because it had a little rental sticker on the back. And when they should have been enjoying themselves and each other, instead they went past me and said, "I'm not editing this, so just get ready." They drive by and they say, "Get out of the road, you fucking nigger." Oh, and I was a lot younger and a lot more fire.